Martin Luther King.
We have wrapped up beyond the limits that we have.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
You know, we've sold our soul for selfies.
Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
And I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery.
And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead.
2, 1, 0. All engines running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Hello friends, my name's Rich and welcome to the 108. Today I want to talk with you about probably the most beautiful thing you can see in the night sky, the moon. What is the moon? How does the moon affect us here on Earth? And what do we actually know about this majestic floating rock? So firstly, let's talk about what we know, or should I say, what we think we know. So the moon, on average, is 238,750 miles away from Earth, or that's roughly 30 Earth widths away from us. The diameter of this majestic being is 2,159 miles, which is about 4 times smaller than our planet. So it's not even that big on the galactic scale, really. The moon, contrary to popular belief, is not round, much like my head's shaped like an egg. The word moon comes from the Latin word luna, which means glowing or bright. The words month and menstruation are also related to the word moon. We here on Earth suffer from earthquakes due to the tectonic plates below us rubbing together. Up there on the moon, they have moonquakes. These originate several miles below the moon's surface, and while we don't fully understand why these happen, we do theorise it may be a result of Earth's gravitational pull. These moonquakes could impact any bases we plan to build there, if we ever build bases there. The moon has no atmosphere to protect it from the harsh conditions in space, so the temperature there can range from minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So you might want to take a warm jumper, warm jacket and some sunscreen if you manage to get an holiday over there. The largest crater we found in our solar system can be found on the dark side of the moon. It's called, and I'm probably going to butcher this, the South Pole Aitken. This massive crater is 1,550 miles in diameter. Now, to put this in perspective, the largest crater we can see on our side of the moon is a measly 183 mile diameter, and that is called the Bailey crater. While mentioning the dark side of the moon, actually, again, contrary to popular belief, there is no dark side of the moon. Both sides receive the same amount of sunlight, we just never see the back side of the moon, the other side of the moon. So the moon, on an international level, is much like international waters, with it being protected by the Moon Treaty, which was formed in 1979. The Moon Treaty means that no military bases are allowed to be built there, no exploration or use unless it's for the common heritage of mankind. All states have equal rights to conduct research there. Any samples obtained during research, the state that obtained them samples must open up a part of them for all other nations to study. It also bans the altering of the environment and bans claiming any sovereignty over any territory on the celestial body. The moon is 400 times smaller than our sun, but is also 400 times closer to Earth than the sun, So from Earth, they look the same size in the sky, and this is why we have eclipses. A full day on the moon is roughly 696 hours long, which would equate to 29 days on Earth. We only ever see one face of the moon, and this is due to the fact that the moon takes the exact time to complete a full cycle as it does with revolving around our planet. The Earth rotates at 1,000 miles per hour, while in comparison the moon spins at a measly 10 miles per hour. Only 12 humans have ever stepped foot on the moon, with the first being Neil Armstrong on July 20th, 1969, and the last being Eugene Cernan in 1972. We even have a human on there today, about being a dead one. Eugene Shoemaker, a noted geologist and planetary scientist, had his ashes taken to the moon on July 31st, 1999. That was one of his last wishes, and NASA ended up paying for it and sending him there. But nowadays you can pay for your own ashes to be sent to the moon. You can have 1 gram of your cremated self shot up over to the moon for just under $12,000, which I think I could be down for that, to be honest. I'd love to be shot in. Well, if you get shot into space, your ashes just fall back down to Earth and then you'll get burnt up in the atmosphere. But have them sent over to the moon, you're there forever, really. Well, until the sun ends up eating the moon in 7 billion years or whatever it is. But yeah, the moon, you'll all like this one. The moon has got better Wi-Fi service than any of us here on Earth could even dream of. This is achieved by using 4 satellites which use high-powered lasers to transmit data. This, upon testing, achieved download speeds, listen to this, download speeds of 622 megabytes per second. Now, I thought I had fast internet at 500 megabytes per minute, but that puts me to shame, and NASA called this the Lunar Laser Communication Demonstration. Now, if you was on the moon and you were to get lost from your lunar lander, you're better off not pulling out your compass to find the direction back, because with there being no magnetic poles on the moon, your compass just won't work. We have observed strange coloured lights on the moon's surface, although we don't understand why this happens just yet. It is theorised that it's gases being released from deep inside the moon. Our moon, the 5th largest satellite we found in our solar system, and based on scale in relation to the size of the planet it orbits, it happens to be the largest moon. The second densest moon after Jupiter's moon, Io. Now, not many people know this fact, but NASA made a discovery in 2009 that there is water on the moon. This water is believed to be billions of years old, which could give us as a species more insight into the history of our solar system. It could also help with any bases we plan to set up. But if any of you are Doctor Who fans, let's just hope it's nothing like the Waters of Mars episodes. Moon zombies is the last thing we need, really. We're already struggling to get back to the moon. A nice little fact here: only one human has ever played golf on the moon. His name was Alan Shepard, and surprise surprise, they never found his ball. There's probably still off orbiting somewhere, to be fair. So with the moon being the most prominent thing in the night sky, it would come of no surprise that we've learnt as much as we have, but there are still unanswered questions in relation to this beautiful lady. We will get to those shortly, but for now, let's look at some of the effects the moon has for the citizens of Earth. So the moon affects our seas. Tides are created by the gravitational pull of the moon, as most of us know. The gravitational attraction of the moon causes the oceans to bulge out in the direction of the moon. Another bulge will also occur on the opposite side, since the Earth is also being pulled towards the moon and away from the water on the far side. Since the Earth is rotating while this is happening, 2 tides occur each and every day. This gravitational pull is so strong it even stretches the planet's crust. Now, think about the thought that your body consists of 75% water. Does that have an effect as well? Which then leads me on to this. During a full moon, crime reaches its highest point of the month. The moon has always been historically linked with madness, which is where the term lunatic comes from. Aristotle himself believed that the moon affected the water that resides in the human brain, and this is why our behaviour changes based on where the moon is in the night sky. Much of the natural life on planet Earth is affected by the moon and its orbit, not only with the daytime-nighttime cycle, but take coral for example. They spawn around a full moon. Animals that are affected by the lunar scale or even tides have what is called a circulunar internal clock. The 24 hours we experience each and every day is also created by the moon. Earth's spin is affected by the moon's gravitational pull, and scientists estimate that if the moon were to simply just disappear, crazy thought, Earth's days would shorten to just a measly 8 hours a day. So you would have to wait a massive 1095 days for your next birthday. But on the flip side, at least I have more time to get you something nice. We do have a few unanswered questions when it comes to the Queen of the Sky. I'm not going to go too in depth and throw 50 different questions at you, because I feel like if I do indulge myself with the way my mind works, it's the first upload for the channel, the first major upload anyway, but I don't want to be scaring any of you off just yet. I've got to ease you into this stuff. But yeah, we don't know where she came from. The moon is too big to have just come into a natural orbit with Earth, and it would simply just fly straight on by if it was a massive rock just floating through space. So scientists do theorise that Earth had a twin. It's about the same size of Mars, which then crashed into Earth, and the resulting debris ended up forming the moon. This is theorised because every type of rock we've ever found on the lunar surface is also found on Earth. This event is often referred to as the Big Whack. We've all heard of the Big Bang, now you know about the Big Whack. Another thing is we found water. We know water exists on the moon, but we don't know how much water is contained there. Although recent NASA and Indian space missions have shown that there is likely more water in and on the moon than anyone ever expected. So guys, the moon, I love the moon. You can usually just find me just staring off into the night sky at this majestic floating rock. There's something about it that has always pulled me towards it. It's always kept me looking up, always, even at the age of 32, and having seen it glow in the sky for that long, about 3 decades, shall we say. Still managed to get caught up in its beauty on a clear night. There's something about it. I'm more than happy to just lay in a field, just look at it, wondering about everything. But what even is the moon? It's the only moon that we know of that always shows the same face to the planet it orbits. It's the only moon we know of that can give total eclipses thanks to the size and distance matching up perfectly with the sun. It affects most life on Earth. Now surely it can't be a coincidence that it exists that way, or does life only exist here because of the coincidence of it being there? There's other things that I think about with when it comes to the moon. Why haven't we been back in nearly 50 years? Now, people will tell you that we've got nothing left to learn, but we obviously have got things left to learn. People will tell you it's not worth the money, but with the Earth being overdue an extinction event, surely we should build a base or even a colony and look to preserve our species. What if we are all wiped out tomorrow because it wasn't worth the money? It's stupid to me, basically stupid. Species preservation should be the human race's main concern, especially with the way we're going as well. We're going to add to these overdue extinction events. Why is all the attention on building a base on Mars something that isn't even possible with today's technology at the minute? do certain countries already hold a base on the moon, but it's kept secret due to breaches of the Moon Treaty? Were we warned off the moon by another species? Astronauts, including Neil Armstrong, claimed that UFOs were watching them as they traversed the lunar surface. We have images that would point to buildings already being on the moon, pre-human buildings these are as well, with NASA not even being bothered enough to come out and debunk them, just ignoring them. Like, well, it's nothing for us to even look into. Like, it's all a bit strange to me. The original footage of the moon landing was even recorded over by NASA, so you're telling me that the biggest achievement in human history simply recorded over, no prior backups made. Now, I don't want to delve too deep into the conspiracy side of the moon with this video, just wanted to point out the majesty of this special rock. Hope that I could teach you a few things, but I will be returning in the future to probe the stranger questions just that little bit deeper, make that thought process delve into places you wouldn't normally go. So friends, I hope you have learned something you may not have known with this video, and I do want to ask you, what do you think of the moon? Where do you think it came from? Does life only exist because of the moon? Why haven't we been back? So do drop your thoughts down in the comments and do let me know what you think. But yeah, until next time friends, thank you for spending this time with me, and do take care of yourselves and those around you, but do remember to question even that which you see with your own eyes.